Good morning, viewers. It is the DOUG here once again, and it's time for my college football picks for Week 14, aka it is the conference championship games. We pretty much at the end of the road. We know after this week who will be in the playoffs and who will not. Some of these games do matter for some seeding, like Miami, Notre Dame, among others, and we'll probably find out tomorrow who goes where. So that's good there. But of course, as a quick recap, Navy beat Memphis, which I predicted. Georgia Tech lost to Georgia, so I got that one wrong. Texas beat Texas A&M, which I knew would happen. Virginia beat Virginia Tech, which was another win for me. Miami destroyed Pitt, which did not call that in. Florida beat Florida State, which I did not get that right. So I went 3-3, and I'm 62-31 for the season. So doing pretty good, getting the winning thing done. On all that good stuff. By the way, my roommate's not here right now. I don't have a roommate now. He actually went home today, so that's a positive there. Um, but let's get to the games. So the first one we have is Jacksonville State taking on Keenshawn State for the Conference USA Championship, and that's at 7 o'clock on Friday on CBS Sports. Currently, Jacksonville State is favored by 1.5 points, and I am taking Jacksonville State to win this game to win Conference USA. Neither team can make the playoff, but at least somebody will get to hold a championship. Moving on to the game at 7 o'clock on ESPN Friday night, which will be in Harrisburg, Virginia, will be Troy taking on James Madison for the Sun Belt Championship. JMU needs to win this and get some help, and they might make the playoffs. Give me JMU over Troy here. JMU's 11-1. They've been a great team. The both teams are going bowling though, but JMU is going to win the Sun Belt. And JMU is actually favored by 22.5 points. So yeah, that's actually the biggest point spread for Friday. Also on Friday in New Orleans for the American Athletic Championship, the AAC, it will be Tulane against North Texans. Whoever wins this should make the college playoff. It's either going to be Tulane or North Texas. My money, I actually have North Texans because Stone Cold went there. I think Tulane's going to give them a good fight, but I think North Texas wins. UNT North Texans is favored by 2.5, and the total points is over 67.5. It's actually the biggest point total overall for Friday. And then the last game on Friday on Fox at 8 o'clock. By the way, the American Athletic Championship is on 8 p.m. on ABC. We have UNLV and Boise State on Fox for the Mountain West Championship. UNLV could make the playoff if they win and get some help, but I doubt it. But with that being said, I do have UNLV winning the game and winning the Mountain West Championship. And again, that is at 8 o'clock. But Boise State is favored by 3.5 points, so keep that in mind. Next, getting to the Saturday championships. The first one at 12 o'clock on ABC for the Big 12 championship. It is Texas Tech and BYU, a little bit of a rematch. Texas Tech is favored by 13.5 points, and I do have Texas Tech winning. Even if they lose this game, they should still make the playoffs. But BYU needs to win this to get themselves in the playoffs, because I think if BYU loses, they're not making the playoffs. So there's a lot of teams, Miami, Alabama, Notre Dame. I'm probably hoping BYU loses this game. So give me Texas Tech. Next, for the MAC Data Championship, which will be in Detroit at Ford Field. By the way, the Big 12 Championship is at AT&T Stadium. But the MAC Championship is at 12 o'clock on ESPN. It will be Miami of Ohio taking on Western Michigan. Both teams are in a bowl game this year, but it's going to be, who's going to be representing the MAC division as the champion. I got Western Michigan here. They are favored by 2.5 points. Both teams are surprisingly good. I watched a lot of MAC games because, I love watching MAC football late at night, because it's fun. I enjoy it and all that good stuff. And all that goodness in life. But yeah, give me Western Michigan. I think they're going to pull it off and get the W, which is awesome to do. Up next, because we don't have too many games left. We only have 3 games left, um, and all that good stuff. So let's see the next one, and I do apologize for taking my time with this. It is at 4 o'clock on ABC. It would be Georgia and Alabama. Now Georgia's already in the college playoff. That's a guarantee, no matter what. Alabama needs to win this to guarantee themselves a spot. I think if they lose this, that would be their third loss. That might hurt them a bit. Georgia is favored by 2.5 points. So give me the Georgia Bulldogs to win this game. But if Alabama does win, it will kind of shake up the playoff a bit. So I will guarantee them a spot. Now the last 2 games, Indiana, Ohio State. Ohio State is favored by 5.5 points over Indiana. Both teams are in the playoff. This is pretty much decided, in my opinion, who's going to be the number one overall seed in the playoff. Because whoever wins the Big Ten is going to be the number one seed. That's just a fact. Sorry. Give me Ohio State. They've been the best team all year. Indiana, they'll go into the playoff 12-1. So they're going to have a good year. They're making the playoff no matter what. And then that leaves Duke and Virginia for the ACC championship. Now, if Virginia wins this, they will be in the playoff. Now, UVA is favored by 3 points. If Duke wins this, it's going to shake up a whole lot of the playoff because then then this is how JMU can get in. Because if Duke wins, Duke will not be able to get into the playoff because they're not even ranked. Because remember, it says it's going by the ranking, and JMU would probably be ranked ahead of Duke. But give me Virginia to win this game. And that gives us to the last thing, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. I got to talk about this. A few years ago, Florida State missed the playoff because, the starting quarterback got injured. A lot of people were mad. Now, Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is a playoff team, but I do wonder if the committee is going to not have them in the playoff because of the fact of, the head coach is gone. They're going to be using an interim head coach. It's going to be interesting to see what the playoff committee does. Personally, I will not put them in the playoff because, you're going to have a different playbook, different play style. I do feel sorry for the kids of Ole Miss. I think this is BS that he did this. Yes, he took the money. I know everyone's like, oh, it's LSU. LSU is not as good as it used to be. I would have stayed with Ole Miss because you were building something. You actually were building a team who could be a playoff team, who could maybe win the SEC. LSU, it's going to be a rebuild. I don't trust LSU, so there's that. But with that being said, let me know what you think of my picks for the college conference championships. Of course, when the playoffs are announced, I will be doing a talk about that. And just as one more bit of news, because we want to go over a lot of the stuff before I go. 2 big things news. North Carolina State and Virginia will make history next year as they will face each other in Brazil in the first college game played in South America, so good job for them. So I'll probably put that on Facebook as well. And then, of course, it was announced, I think earlier yesterday, that Kentucky has fired their head coach, Mike Stoops, which is not a surprise that he got fired. He went 72-80 during his time in Lexington, 82-80 if you include the 10-win 21 season that was later vacated. It leaves us the winningest coach in the school's history. Bear Bryant is number 2. All right, guys, I should be streaming tonight with my headset on, so I will be in a party. Just don't ask me what game I'm going to be doing because my plan was to do Dispatch, but because I'll be on my headset, I might do SpongeBob. I might get back to Lego. I don't know. But until then, everyone have a good rest of your night, and I will see you tonight. Peace out and much love.